Hello everyone and welcome back to StoneBlock. It's been a bit, but we're back and today we're going to be doing quite a bit. I have a lot of things lined up. So first off, we have a ton of compressors going. We have the iron, it has 38 stored. Gold is 2. Gold is annoying because chickens give gold nuggets, which have to be crafted into ingots and then crafted into blocks and then compressed. We have 68 lapis, 30 redstone, 121 quartz, 9 diamond, 7 emerald, 8 copper, and 10 and lead and silver. They are being worked on right now. They are in progress. Lead is almost finished. Silver is finished, just needs more. But lead is what needs to be worked on. So we have a lot of things that I want to do today. The first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to work on respawning the dragon. I believe I need some... what are they called? I'm forgetting their names. They're probably in this section. The end crystals. Yes, I need these. Grab 16. Yes. I need 16 because we're doing 4 dragons, because I want to make the dragon set. It is actually better than this stuff. Alright, that's all the lead chickens. Fully done. We're going to head back over to chickens. Go over here and plop this one back in. It was over here, wasn't it? Yep. No! Chicken. There's... No. You shall not. You shall not. Okay. Let's head over to the end, and we're gonna defeat the dragon a couple times. By the way, the Morning Star is better than anything else, because its attack speed is the highest. It's even better than this thing. What the frick? What the heck? Why? There's so many. Oh, right. Give me a sec. I almost forgot. Oh, I already have torches in my inventory. I don't know what I'm doing. Put that there and that there, just in case. That's the reason. I need to... It's expected that I'd forget to put the music back on. Somebody just messaged me. Give me a sec. Never mind. I heard a noise and I was like, oh. Okay, let's defeat the Ender Dragon. Is that dimensional shards? Oh, it is cool. Alrighty. Oh! There's already an egg here. I mean, that would make sense. Okay. Is it here, here, and here? No. Okay. I don't have a bow. Well, that egg is gone. It's fine, I have more. It's in the middles, isn't it? Why would you do this? Why would you put it in the middle? Can somebody explain to me why they put it in the middle? Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna fly over through all of them. Let me get it. Oh. Hit it. I'm taking a lot of damage right now. I really don't care. Where'd he be? Oh, the googly eyes! Come here. What the frick? Come back here. I guess if I get in its hit, what did I just say? I guess when I get in its hitbox, it hurts me, so that's kind of annoying. You know what? I'm just gonna wait. I should have made, I probably only needed one dragon egg anyway, because as soon as I kill this one, it gives me another one. Wow, that's nothing. Oh, this is the right position right here. Right above the first blade. Okay. Time to win again. I guess you can't really deflect those. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I think I just need to do it once more and I should be good. How do? Okay, cool. Let's do one more. And that should be enough for the dragon armor. Well, there's an egg right there. Don't know why, but it's there. Okay, that should be enough for now. The next thing after this, what we're going to do is we're going to... you know what I can do? We can... we're going to do the RF Tools Dimension Manual. We're going to work on dimlets and stuff. Oh, I'm using the book. What the heck? We use... Ah! I hate that I have to slow down when I move down. I don't want these. Yeah. Out. And we'll just wait here. Okay. Don't ask me why I'm doing this. I'm just doing it. I'm bored. I'm bored. It's like, no! Oh yeah, if I kill Enderman, I also get the, if I unalive Enderman, if I unalive Enderman, I get, more, I keep teleporting as soon as they get near this thing, which is annoying. Oh! Huh. That's useful. Come on. Just come back down here one more time. Stop spewing purple gas. It's not good for your health. Why is there some over there? It's come back. That second of not hitting it may have cost me this turn. I just need one more hit. Yeah, there we go. Give me stuff. Put out the fires, put out the fires. Oh, the stuff's over there, isn't it? Ah, it is. Eh. Cool. Alright. That's probably enough. It's probably. Head back home. Now we can make the dragon armor. Or the full dragon armor. Excuse me. I already had enough to make these. Now all we need is the new ones I have to make the chest plate and the leggings. Okay, then throw this. No, we throw it in here. Okay. Ho ho ho. Ha 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 ha. That's pretty good. This armor looks sick. Okay, throw this in here. Alright, the next thing we want to work on is dimlets, like I said. Also, before we get started on dimlets, I want to show you something. I have fully automated this. This is what it was giving me trouble, and this is what I was talking about in Firmament. This thing was awful because I guess I forgot glowstone here, and so the filter didn't work entirely. So it kept putting glowstone wherever, and it kept putting it in the furnace, which clogged the entire thing up. It's supposed to go in pulverizer to give me glowstone, which I can, or glowstone dust. But yeah, I have now automated this completely. So it just goes straight into the ME system, which is nice. I got totally discombobulated right then. Then, like I said, I have all this. So let me go over to chickens. I think it's the silver chicken we want. See over here. Yes, we only have 5 though. Okay, then we want seeds. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. So then those will go and make us enough to make more. I didn't do too much in terms of renovating anymore because I didn't really want to, so I didn't. I did have an idea though about how to do this on the inside. The glowstone will be lower one layer than this so that it looks like it's an actual block, because if I put it inside then it would look really weird. So I'm not going to do that. So then let's work on dimlets. Let's head over to the star because I'm probably going to make a new room off this way. So what we're going to do, dimlets can, you know what? Oh, I can get more hearts. Hold on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 hearts. How long will this take? 1 second. What? It's definitely not 1 second. Oh, I see. The furnace has to go. Okay, yeah. It doesn't know how long the furnace will take. Okay, so then heart. So now we should have... How do you use? Do I? Oh, I already have max. Duh, I already have max. It's just I haven't eaten. Alright. Avoiding being stupid, let's work on dimlets. Alright, so pull this over here. Alright, so this is the dimension manual, or the dimlet manual. Introduction to dimension building. So real quick before we start, the thing I'm going to be using is a silky block of jewel. Because it's basically, so you have 24,960, 16,384. It's way better. And all it requires is silky cloth. Which, that doesn't add up at all to make that. It's like you're adding, oh, of course you're adding 4, never mind. Duh. Anyway, again, there's a, hold on. I'm gonna,
we'll do.
and create magnificent buildings and fabulous worlds. With the Dimension Builder, you create your own dimensions with all kinds of special features. Make void worlds, mining ages, floating islands. Mining ages? If this, whoever made this was into mist. Whoever made this was into mist. There's one catch, though. Dimensions require power to run. Simple dimensions like a void world don't require a lot of power, 10 to 200 RF per tick. But very complex dimensions can easily go above millions of RF per tick. So if you want a world made out of diamond blocks, you're either going to have to be very lucky or else be very prepared for a hefty power generation system. RF Tools generates dimensions with random features. However, you can make things more deterministic by specifying every type of dimlet. Okay, so another thing is, for dimlets, we're going to want to use cryostabilized flux ducts because they can transfer infinite RF per tick. And that also means when we go, we also need to make the higher levels of these because, and then we're going to want to set up over there on that side the cryostabilized flux ducts. These things can handle an infinite amount of RF per tick. It doesn't have a cap. So that's fine. Dimension theory. Before embarking on the adventure of forming your own worlds, it is important to understand how the dimensions work. The first thing that is important to understand is that worlds you create are not necessarily unique. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast while reading this. I'm trying to get through some of the boring stuff. If a pattern of code is used to create one world, using the same pattern of code will create the same world again. In fact, when you enter the first world and make changes, the changes will appear in the second as well. That makes sense because it's probably off the base world seed generation. This allows you to disassemble dimensions but enter the same exact ones later with the changes you made still there, provided you use the exact same code. Dimlets coding the world. Dimensions, when created normally, will be completely random. You have no way of knowing whether it will be a floating sky world. Okay, so when you use a crafted one, it's the same every time with the same crafted things. Anyway, but if it's random, then it's not. It'll be a floating sky world or a huge cave, or whether it's midnight or midday. Although you have a chance of creating a good world, chances are it won't work out in your favor. However, you can control your world with objects called dimlets, scattered throughout the world in dungeons and other chests, or just obtained by killing endermen. You have a chance of finding dimlet parts. These small items were made a long time ago with forgotten technology and can be used to construct dimlets. These dimlets are similar to code. Imagine each dimlet as its own line of code, modifying the next dimlet or defining something about the world. Dimlets are complicated devices filled with advanced circuitry and powerful essences. These things can literally define how a world works. Most of the work you will be doing with dimensions will involve these dimlets. If you ever find yourself running low on dimlets, there's a higher chance of finding them within your custom dimensions. So, when nearly out of dimlets, create a couple random worlds and look around for interesting structures. You may find some very valuable dimlets in there. Okay, so then let's go over to, what is it? At RF Tools. Here we go. So it's talking about these, but I'm also kind of like, these things aren't the same? Yeah, okay. Anyway. You're on the next one. There are currently 14 types of dimlets discovered. Terrain dimlets. These are used to define what a world looks like. Some examples could include a normal world, a flat world, or a Skylands world. Digit dimlets. Digit dimlets are lines of code that can be used to create different dimensions. This allows you to create new, unique worlds except with exactly the same dimlets. Okay, so like, they're basically ways to change the way the world is generated. They're not anything special. They just allow you to make unique worlds. Because if I took away, if I had like one terrain digit dimlet, and if I created a world, I'd get one. But if I use the same three, again, I get the same world. However, if I added digit dimlets, then I could get a different one because it registers as a different code. Okay. Biome dimlets. These control what biomes appear in a dimension. How many biomes are supported depends on the controller. Biome controller. These determine how many and which type of biomes are selected. For instance, you could define it so that there is only one biome or a checkerboard of biomes. Material dimlets. These dimlets are used to define what a feature is made out of. For instance, these can be used to make sure a world is made out of glowstone or a tendril is made out of netherrack. Tendril? What? When used as a modifier for another dimlet, the cost of these dimlets will drastically increase, same as the liquid dimlets. Similar to material dimlets, these only differ in the fact that they define a liquid instead of a solid material. We're going to obviously do the material dimlet and go for whatever it's called. Feature dimlets. These dimlets define what features appear in the world, such as floating ores filled with liquids, increased ore generation, or even tendrils of various substances. Structure dimlets. These define if certain structures will appear in the world, such as strongholds, villages, or mine shafts. Mob dimlets. Using these dimlets, you can specify additional mobs that should spawn in your world, in addition to normal mob spawning. So this is a great way to make an overworld if you're still early game. But since I've automated all my materials, I don't need to. Sky dimlets. These allow you to find the colors, sizes, or even existence of various objects in the sky, such as planets, moons, suns, sky color, fog color, and more. Okay, that's kind of random, but alright. Time dimlets. With these dimlets, you can control the time of day. It can be set to either a fixed time, or else you can get slow or faster time. Well, we have the mining dimension for that, so it's fine. Weather dimlets. Control the weather in your dimension with these dimlets. Effect dimlets. These dimlets add various special effects. Negative effects generally help reduce maintenance power. Special dimlets. These are special dimlets that are usually extremely rare. There are currently 5 special dimlets. Peaceful. Prevents hospital. That makes sense. Efficiency dimlet. If you add this rare dimlet to your attachment tab, the dimension will consume 20% less energy per tick. This effect is cumulative. However, it will greatly increase the creation time and creation cost. Mediocre efficiency. This dimlet functions at a somewhat inferior version. It is easier to attain, but not as easy to add. Shelter dimlet. Dimlet is for dimensions that may be excessively hostile. This dimlet for dimensions that may be excessively hostile. This dimlet creates a much safer spot for teleporting in. Oh. Seed dimlet. A very specialized dimlet to control the seed of the random world generation for a dimension. Alright, so then we get to the dimlet crafting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. We'll do it here. This will be our dimlet area. Yes, okay. All right, so then we'll 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just extending it more because I'm pretty sure it's just going to annoy me if I leave it too small. I'll go out one more this way as well. And there we go. Cool. So this will be the dimlet area. Alright, so then let's go to dimlet crafting. Now that you have your dimlet parts, you need a way to make dimlets. Using the dimlet workbench, you can deconstruct dimlets into their technical components and then reconstruct them into new dimlets. The workbench can be created as follows. Okay, so then we want to go Emmy Duck. And it should be somewhere. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna need a machine frame first, yeah. Oh, that's a lot of lag. Okay, real quick. That's what I thought. So, what is this called? Dimlet. I have 6 dimlet base parts. Oh, is this like a... Oh, I see. So the main thing I get... I think these go into these. It goes into the base and then I get... Okay, that makes sense. Mob. Oh, mole. Right, mole. Duh. And then I need more moles. And then interfaces. There we go. Okay, so now we can make this workbench. Cool. So then this probably needs power, right? Yeah, okay, so then let's grab out or point, right? Yeah. And then we want some... I don't have cryostabilized energy conduits right now, but we want those. Cool, there we go. So now this should be charging. So let's see. Silky. Block a jewel. So it needs a base. A number 5. 3 lightning bolts. 3 red. Three lightning bolts. I only have 2, and I don't have that. So am I able to craft them here? Hold on. Now that you have your dimlet parts, you need a way to make dimlets. Using the dimlet workbench, you can deconstruct dimlets into their technical components and then reconstruct them into new dimlets. Every dimlet is made out of 6 parts. Dimlet base item, dimlet control circuit, dimlet energy module, memory module, type controller, and essence item. You need the right tier of every part to make a dimlet. There is 1 control circuit for every rarity, 0 to 6, and there are 3 levels of the energy and memory modules. When extracting dimlets into parts, there's a 40% chance for every part that you get nothing. To avoid that, it is recommended that you infuse the workbench. A maximum infused workbench will guarantee that you get all parts back. Extracting a dimlet will never give you an essence item. You always have to make that. Okay. How do I infuse it? What do I infuse it with? So I'm pretty sure I need 1 silky block of jewel, probably. So let's head over here. And we want to make that. Do that. No, not that. That doesn't exist. No, you don't. Alright, make 1 silky block of jewel. Just gimme. Oh wow, that was weird. What was doing? Making gold? May have been making gold. Okay, so now we have 2 of the parts. But the issue is getting 5, 3, and 3. So let's... Huh? Well, okay, hold on. There are various kinds of essence items depending on the type of dimlet that you want to make. Biome absorber for biome dimlets, material absorber for material dimlets, liquid absorber for liquid dimlets, time absorber for time dimlets, syringe for mob dimlets, peaceful essence made out of 9 filled syringes of a specific type for the peaceful dimlet, efficiency mediocre efficiency items for the corresponding efficiency dimlet, structure essence from villagers for structure. So if you want to create a biome forest dimlet, you would place the biome absorber with a forest biome. Slowly, the biome absorber will fill up the essence of the forest biome. You can then place it in the last slot of the dimlet workbench along with the other pieces of the dimlet to build your biome. Forest dimlet, now ready to be used in any dimensions. For the time absorber, you need to give this absorber a redstone signal at approximately the right time. This has to be done 10 times before it has fully absorbed the time. Note that some dimlets can be crafted using the regular crafting table. You may notice that some of these craftable dimlets require a weird item. This is a dimlet template which can be crafted as follows. To craft this, you actually need dimensional shards. The dimensional describer is what is used to actually code your dimensions. Okay. So the next thing that we want then... no, go here. Go back. Okay, so then we want to make that crafting recipe. Oh, I already have it. Okay, so then I wonder. Okay, how do I actually, okay, wait. I also need to make a waypoint for this specifically, so I don't have to keep flying over here. Dimlet. Okay. All right. So if I threw, okay, wait, how do I deconstruct then? I'm guessing what it means by deconstruct is actually deconstruct the made dimlet, which is the actual dimension module. But to do that, what are these? Okay, so we also need to make the material absorber. And we probably need to make 5 more silky jewel. I don't know why I did that. And then we need to make the material absorber. Does it need power? That's my question. It's 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. 4, 5. Yeah, there you go. And then material absorber is done. Okay, so then we need to see how this thing actually works. And I'm going to place it on top of this just so that it doesn't absorb stone. Oh, good lord. Okay. That's going to take a while. All right, we'll leave that there while we keep reading. Inscriber. The dimension inscriber is what is used to actually code your dimensions. In addition, you will also need an empty dimension tab. To use the dimension inscriber, you must first insert the empty dimension tab into the slot on the tower lower left to make a completely random world with no dimlets included. You can simply click store, and the dimlets included will be randomly selected. However, if you would like to actually control your dimension, you need to insert dimlets. So, what we need to do is create a random one first, and then use that one to find more dimlets so that we can make the one that I need. However, if you would like to actually control your dimension, you need to insert dimlets. These can be inserted into the slots on the top of the device. Hitting store will create a realized tab that relates to the world you've just created. The order of the dimlets inserted affects the dimension. If a material dimlet is placed before a terrain dimlet, it'll create a world made out of that material. Okay, if it is inserted before a feature dimlet, it will make the feature out of that material. Okay, the descriptions of each type of dimlet and what they do can be found in the dimlet page. When you create a dimension, the dimlets placed into that dimension form the signature of the dimension. Any tabs created with those exact dimlets will lead to that world. Dimension tabs can be extracted in the inscriber to return the dimlets used. If access to that dimension is needed again, the same dimlets can be reformed into a dimension to lead to that exact dimension, with any changes you made still there. Further information about the theory behind dimensions can be found on the dimension theory page. However, some people may wish to create new dimensions with the same set of dimlets. This can be easily done using digit dimlets. These have no power cost and allow you to infinitely vary your dimensions. Just based on the digit dimlets included, digit dimlets can be easily crafted and cycled between, so it is easy to vary your worlds. Each dimlet has a certain maintenance, creation, and tick cost shown in the tooltip. These represent the power cost of a dimension created with those dimlets. The creation cost represents how much the dimlet will need per tick when creating the dimension. The tick cost represents how many ticks that dimlet will add to the creation of the dimlet. The maintenance cost is simply how much the dimlet will cost per tick after the world is created. The maintenance cost can be lowered using efficiency dimlets, making it easier to maintain an already created world. Okay, so we want the inscriber? Okay. Inscriber is there. Okay, let's head over to ME deck. Okay, let's make the inscriber. So we want empty dimension tab and the inscriber. Oh my gosh. Okay, these two. Realize dimension tab. Okay, now we have a dimension. Creation cost 1,000 RF per tick. Maintenance cost 10 RF per tick. Tick cost 100 ticks. So... Okay. Alright, let me look at the silky. It's getting there, but it's nowhere near. Oh, I see. So it just has to be below. Oh, wow, that actually has some durability to it. Okay, so it looks like I just need one block. Cool, 33. Or somewhat near that. All right, so the next thing I'm guessing we need is the dimension builder, so that we can use this to build the dimension. Creating your dimension. The dimension builder is what is used to create dimensions and maintain them based on the realized tab. RB dimension builder. Depending on the complexity of the dimension, it will use power and needs some time to actually construct the dimension. If there is not enough power present, the building will be delayed. You can also take out your dimension tab if you want to temporarily stop building the dimension. If you need power for something else, for example, the dimension tab will remember the current progress. Okay. As soon as the dimension is ready, the tooltip on the dimension tab will change, indicating the status and current power. You will also notice that the energy level of the dimension builder is suddenly emptied. That's because all current energy in the dimension builder is immediately given to the dimension. The dimension itself has a buffer of 40 million RF. Don't attempt to go to your dimension if there's not yet enough energy in it. Wait until sufficient energy has been put in it. You can see the current level in the tooltip of the dimension tab. Hint, if you shift right-click with the dimension tab in your hand, you can see what random features were selected for creating this dimension. Oh. Note on powering very expensive dimensions. The dimension builder accepts a maximum of 50,000 RF per tick on every side, so most it can get 300,000 RF per tick. If you input energy from all 6 sides, and if you have conduits or energy cells that can handle that amount of RF per tick, a tesseract would work. Sometimes even 300,000 per RF per tick is not enough to power your dimension. In that case, you can use multiple dimension builders and multiple identical dimension tabs. That does mean that you will need multiples of all the dimlets that you use to create that dimension tab as well. Okay. Hint, the special efficiency dimlet and the mediocre efficiency dimlet both help with reducing maintenance costs, but will add a greater creation cost and tick cost. Getting there and safety. Okay. So we need the dimension builder. And it's that. Ooh, are those draconic ingots? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Oh, I have, okay, cool. I have crops. I was about to be like, oh my gosh. I was about to be so mad because I thought I had to awaken them, but it's fine. I don't have to. Put that there. Okay, so then we want dimension builder. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for this one to be done, aren't we? Okay. Let's head over here then. Cool. All right, so now that we have this, let's throw these back in here. I don't need them. How much silky do we have? 43. Okay, seems like it's getting there. Yeah, we're almost done. Just spam it. Is it done? No, it's not done. It is kind of cool to watch, though. I never sat down and watched this thing craft, which it is like a strange kind of look. It's getting there. It's taking a bit though, which is annoying, but eh. Stop. Okay, so isn't there like a... There is... Isn't there like a... Yeah, this matter transmitter. If there's this block anywhere in the world, then you can dial to it using a dialing device. Put this block, make sure to give it power. Okay. Okay, but how do we get... Okay, so... Oh, they're done. Cool. There's the builder done. Oh, that's fast. How much power am I yoinking? Oh my gosh! I'm supporting it though. It's done. I'm definitely supporting it. No. Okay, putting my torches away. 82%. Okay, so it needs 18 more silky jewel. I'll make 20 just in case. Oh, shoot. All right. Then I also want to head over to chicken because these are probably done. Yes, and then we want to head back over to compressor. Want to do this, and then we want to make 9 stacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4.5, really. All right, there we go. So now that's making the next chicken. All right, so then the next question is getting there, which is probably this. Once you have created your dimension, you'll need a way to get there. To do that, you have to use RF Tools' teleportation system. At the time the dimension is created, the dimension builder also generated a spawn platform with a matter receiver in the middle. This matter receiver will be fully charged, so it is safe to teleport there. After creating the dimension, you will need a dialing device to dial a matter transmitter to that new destination. If you gave your realized dimension tab name in the inscriber, in the inscriber, then that destination will also be like that. Don't just teleport there yet. There are a few things you should worry about. Okay, wait. Okay, so okay, we're gonna put it up there, and then we're gonna put this dial machine here. Okay, so then you will need a dialing device, which is this thing. Okay, let's head back over to here. It's after the teleporters, right? Yeah, this. Okay, head back to star, throw that in, go back to deck, dialing. I don't know why I did that, because I can just ID3, which is that. Yeah. Okay, it's getting power. Cool. All right, so then what are the worryabouts? Your dimension builder is feeding power into the dimension. As long as that builder is chunk loaded or you are near it, it is all fine. There we go. Should be fine. You should be... It's all fine. But as soon as you teleport to that other dimension, the dimension builder may become unloaded, at which point no new energy will be entered into the dimension. The dimension will from that point on run on internal power. Depending on how expensive the dimension is, you can live in a non-powered dimension for a considerable time, but beware of power running out. You will die if power is completely gone, but before that happens, the dimension will darken and you will get various bad effects. Also note that if you have a dimension that uses a lot of RF per tick, this internal buffer will go down a lot faster. To solve this problem, you either have to make sure your dimension builder is chunk loaded, or else take with you another dimension builder with a copy, or the original realized dimension tab and some power, a battery, or generator, so you can keep sending power from inside the dimension itself. Okay, so then we need a matter receiver as well, because there's already a matter sender, sorry. We need a matter transmitter, whatever it's called. Deck, transmitter, where is it? Yoinkus. Okay, we need to make that. I am liking this giblets thing. It's really cool. Okay, then next question is, how exactly do it work? That cobblestone's going to annoy me. I probably only need it here. Okay. No access to transmitter. Okay, wait, then I need to probably... instead do... Oh, you know what? This would work. Do this. No, yeah, this. Dial. No access to transmitter. What? Dial okay. Now it's dialed too. Okay, we're not going to touch it though. We're going to keep reading. Getting there. Major failure. Okay, getting there. Getting back. While the dimension builder generates a matter receiver in the dimension, there will not be a matter transmitter, so you have to bring your own way back with you. You can do this with various teleportation systems, but the recommended way is to use a matter transmitter that you bring with you. There are two options. Put the matter transmitter in your base, your main base, fully power and dial it to a nearby matter receiver. Then pick it up with a wrench. It will keep the settings, so when you put it down in the other dimension, it will still have a power and you'll be able to get back with it. Keep in mind that power in that transmitter is drained with every teleport, so you'll have to be careful next time you go into the dimension. Okay, so then I need a matter receiver. So then I'll leave that as that thing. Okay, so then I'm going to do the way they did it because that makes more sense. We're going to head here. I'm going to make a matter receiver. Oh, it's just for the verse. That makes sense, actually. We need a mole and interface. There we go. We're going to run through this one really quickly, aren't we? Okay, so let's make a receiver. And another sender, or transmitter. And we're going to throw the transmitter, or the receiver here. Name will be main rec. Is that just a search function? Home. Well. Oh, this one needs power as well. Duh. Uh... Pick it up with a wrench. So we need the RF tools wrench. Is that their only wrench? It does look like it. What does this do? Can I make it? I can't make it. Okay. All right. So let's make that. No, can't type on that. So then. But bad things will happen as soon as the player arrives at the distance. The name using the GUI, then that name will be shown in the dialog device, which makes it easier to recognize. Oh, right. I need a dialing device. Duh. Okay, so let's just get rid of this one for now. I'm going to take this. Dial once. Okay, so now this should be dialed to main rec. Oh, wait, dialed once. No, we want this dialed permanent. Okay. Okay, so now we have that, and we're going to leave this here. This is dialed to the realm. I can get rid of that now. Okay, so then best is to bring along a battery or generator as well, otherwise take some power. The matter transmitter and another dialing device with you, and simply set up a teleportation hub in the dimension. If all fails, you can simply go back by dying. It will return at your spawn point, but with your inventory, of course. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is I need some flux points. Oh gosh, I need to make more of these. Hundo. There we go. All right, we're gonna take one of these. We're gonna take some conduits, and we're gonna take this, and then we can power both of them in the other world. Okay. Oh. Okay, we're probably gonna want to put some torches. It's a completely void world. So we're going to put down a flux point here. Then we're going to... Nope. Then we're going to put this here. And then we're going to power it. There we go. So now we can get back home, or we should. I probably should have put like a block away. Cool, so that's our first dimension. It doesn't have any structures though, which is kind of annoying. Here, so let's put this back here. Let's read more about in the book real quick before we go. Wait, major failure. Oh, there's more. If you are in the dimension, then there's one handy tool that you can bring with you to monitor the power status of the dimension. That's the dimension monitor that you can craft like this. So the amount of power still left in the dimension. The tool also gives a visual indication of the current amount of power. Major failure. What if you just died in an unpowered dimension? How can you get your stuff back? Sometimes you really need to go back to a dimension that has no power. The phased field generator allows you to do just that. This item has to be charged first. While it has enough power, it will protect you from the hazards of an unpowered dimension. But be fast as you can with the slowest you'll get, because power runs out quickly. This item has to be in your hotbar to work. Do not remove it. Dimensional shards. Certain machines and items require an odd essence called dimensional shards, probably produced as a byproduct of the energy fueled into these dimensions. Generating below level 40, these shards will appear in any RF tools dimension or can be mined with a pickaxe to return the shards, which can then be used for all manners of things. Have several uses. Firstly, shards are required to craft some of the basic dimlets. You also need some shards to craft the machine infuser, activity probe, and dimlet templates. Okay, so there's an actual machine infuser. And finally, you can use them to infuse almost all RF tools machines to make them more efficient or give them special abilities. Tools which is crafted as follow. With this machine, you can inject dimensional shards into almost all other RF tools machines. Just pick up any RF tool machine with a wrench and put it in the left slot. You can infuse up to 256 shards. Machines work more efficiently or faster. The benefit vary depending on the machine, but in almost all cases, it will need a lot less power to operate, and in some cases, the speed will greatly increase. Use cases of dimension builder. A fully infused dimension builder will create dimensions a lot faster and use a lot less energy. But also the shield block, autocrafter, and so on will benefit from this. It is also very useful to infuse with their matter transmitter and matter receiver blocks, as they will work faster and use a lot less energy, making them safer to use. Activity probe. Normally dimensions use power constantly, even when nobody is in them. It is possible to make this a bit more efficient by making an activity probe. You can craft this block as follows. This device is passive. It doesn't use any power, and it has no user interface either. You simply place it in an RF tools dimension. It has no effect in any other dimension. While it is present in a dimension, it honors activity in that dimension. And will... Okay, cool. Extract it. With this bucket, it is possible to extract any energy back out of a dimension. You can use this in case you no longer want to use a dimension, or perhaps you have... Okay. Dimension Editor. With the Dimension Editor, you can alter already created dimensions by inserting some types of dimlets. It can be crafted as follows. Note that inserted dimlets are lost during this process. You will not get it back even if you deconstruct the Dimension tab, and you pay the full power cost for it. There is no way to undo this, so be careful. This can only be done with the dimlets of type Special, Mob, Effect, Sky, Weather, and Time. In addition to injecting some types of dimlets, you can also inject a pre-charged matter receiver. This can be handy in case you accidentally broke your receiver or it failed to generate because some structure overrode it. 82 meters tend to do that, for example. Dimension monitor. Besides the dimension monitor item, there is also dimension monitor block, which sends out redstone signal as soon. Okay, cool. We're going to make a back dim 1. Okay, so now we have a way of getting back, and we're just gonna explore. For all I know, it could just be oil, which isn't entirely a bad thing. It's a great way to get oil. And it's cool oil as well. But at the same time, it isn't great. So, going to explore for a bit. It looks like it's just oil. Yeah, it looks like it's just oil. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is like a good oil world, but other than that, it's really not great. So let's make another dimension tab. And let's make a diamond chest real quick. I already had one. And we're going to throw it here. And this will be our realized dimensions. Okay, so then let's make a new one. Okay, so we made ID 3, so this is going to be... the... cast... 1... store. Okay. ID 3, why is it called ID 3? Oh, because I used the same things. Okay, so then we can extract, because... yeah, okay. Then... wow, my first world was nothing. That's great. Okay, so... Let's see. Let's grab some dimlets. So, what's something I can easily make? Well, the issue is like the accumulator is really nasty because you have to do this. Silky. Need 2 more. If I can type correctly, that'd be great. 1. Oh yeah, I also accidentally make this at one point. There we go. I might need another one though. Huh, interesting. Okay. Something cool there. I might have to look this up on how to do this offline because I'm a bit confused. So Silky then needs that. Do I have what's that note block looking thing? What's not on here? Oh, there it is. Material type controller. I don't have that either. I have other things, but I don't have that thing. So let's just make random stuff then. I have an energy module, a memory unit. So I need a digit as well. Let's use 0. Then need a digit, energy, and memory, and something else. I may just not have like the things I need. What? Okay. I'm really confused. I don't entirely understand how this works. How do I make a dimlet though? That's the question. Well, we're out of time anyway. I'll work on this offline, see what I can do. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and to follow on Twitch. I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.